The New Hampshire primary is tomorrow, but after last week's Iowa caucus debacle, the Democrats are not very excited.
I mean, here we're trying to take on Donald Trump, and we're trying to say we can run the government, and yet we can't count 170,000 votes.
That's Terry McAuliffe, the former DNC chairman. As you may have heard last week, longtime Democrat strategist James Carville expressed his frustration with the direction the Democrat Party is going. And in a surprising attempt at journalism, Vox reached out to Carville to ask him to expand on his comments where he said that the Democrats are losing their damn minds. Well, I certainly can't wait to find out how James Carville will react when he finds out that several of the Democrat candidates, including Pete Buttigieg and Elizabeth Warren, have included their preferred pronouns in their Twitter bio. Hillary Clinton was on the Ellen DeGeneres show the other day where she warned Bernie Sanders to stop promising things that he can't deliver.
You've got to be responsible for what you say and what you say you're going to do. We need to rebuild trust in our fellow Americans and in our institutions. And if you promise the moon and you can't deliver the moon, then that's going to be one more indicator of how, we just can't trust each other.
Apparently, Justin Bieber was guest hosting that day. As Joe Biden continues to falter, the Democrats are getting increasingly concerned that they don't have a viable candidate that could beat President Trump in November. And apparently John Kerry's getting frustrated because so many people are asking him if he'll jump into the race. He tweeted out, quote, "As I told the reporter, I am absolutely not running for president. Any report otherwise is or categorically false. I've been proud to campaign with my good friend Joe Biden, who is going to win the nomination, beat Trump, and make an outstanding president." Realizing how frustrating and pathetic he looked, he deleted that tweet and then reposted the same statement without the F word. Several polls show Joe Biden in 4th place in New Hampshire, which is causing many to get even more concerned. Concerned that Bernie Sanders may be the nominee, Chris Matthews has recommended that the Democrat Party use a brokered convention in July and nominate Adam Schiff as their candidate.
Can you go to somebody who isn't running? Or does it have to be one?
No, you can go to anyone. You can go to Chris Matthews if they want
how about Adam Schiff? Could they all agree, let's give it to Schiff?
They can agree on Schiff, Chris Matthews, Dan Rather, whoever they want. Somebody who they believe can beat Trump.
Yeah, give it to Adam Schiff because he's so much more likable than Bernie Sanders. Let's not forget that the contestants on Jeopardy just a few weeks ago didn't know who he was despite being shown his picture.
U.S. Representatives for 12.
1/53 of California's House delegation is this Intelligence Committee chairman. His name is Adam Schiff. Back to you, Veronica.
Composers for 2000.
But Chris has some other bad news for his fellow swamp monsters. On Friday night, President Trump did some draining.
2 days after being acquitted in his impeachment trial, President Trump is already getting his vengeance. In the last hours, news broke that Gordon Sondland, ambassador to the European Union, a prominent witness in the impeachment inquiry, has been fired. It comes just hours after Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vindman was escorted from the White House, physically removed from his position as an aide on the National Security Council. Vindman, a decorated combat veteran, was one of many administration officials to testify during the impeachment proceedings.
Well, it's about time. Bye. Jim Acosta tweeted that a Trump advisor told him that what they were seeing was the flushing out of the pipes. I would add that it was some Schiff getting flushed down the toilet.
I'm tired of this.
And bad news for the one-term Congressman Joe Walsh, who briefly ran for president as a Republican against President Trump.
Well, Congressman, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining us. You have something to say this morning.
Yeah, John, good to be with you. I am ending my candidacy for president of the United States. Look, I got into this because I thought it was really important that there was a Republican out there every day calling out this president for how unfit he is. Nobody can beat him. It's Trump's party, John. It's not a party. It's a cult. He can't be beat in the Republican primary, so there's no reason for me or any candidate really to be in there.
Wow, you're a really smart guy, Joe, to have finally figured this out. Maybe it was openly getting mocked at the Iowa caucus last week that finally made the light bulb go off.
Look, if you want 4 more years of the Donald Trump show, you're not...
Try to imagine for a moment being this clueless. I mean, he gives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez a run for her money.
You know, this idea and this metaphor of a bootstrap started off as a joke because it's a physical impossibility to lift yourself up by a bootstrap, by your shoelaces. It's physically impossible. The whole thing is a joke.
No, what's a joke is your congressional career. Imagine arguing in Congress that a metaphor, as stated, is physically impossible. We do know what's wrong with her, however. At some point in her life, she caught a bad case of liberalism, which has been going around a lot lately. If you want to help spread the word, get yourself a Liberalism Find a Cure shirt from my online store at markdice.com, or click the link in the description below. Like all of my designs, they're available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.